आज से 7 साल पहले 2015 मैं पीडब्ल्यूसी में था। और पीडब्ल्यूसी एक बहुत ही नामी गिरामी कंपनी है विथ ए वेरी वंडरफुल वर्क कल्चर। नो ऑफेंस टू इट एंड द प्रोजेक्ट दैट आई हैड, जिस तरह के लोग थे मेरे अराउंड, इट वाज वंडरफुल। You cannot complain anything about the culture per se, but I did not like the work. I did not like the purpose, and I was not sure where it was going with the way that I was contributing. I wanted something that was bigger than this, that would be changing people's lives. And आप में से बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे सोचते होंगे कि जो भी काम मैं कर रहा हूँ या जो कर रहे हैं वो काम क्या सॉल्व कर रहे हैं, व्हाट इज द larger purpose of the work that you do. And this questioning with myself and the point and curiosity that I had about the work that we do, especially in the corporate space, made me think about other career options, what all career options are available, and where I can find a space for myself. And when I started looking just around and looking at the opportunities that are visible, Jagrati Yatra happened. Then India went through the startup ecosystem, the boost in uh, the policies by the government to encourage more and more startups. The entrepreneurial ecosystem is growing, so people are able to take risk, जो कि हमारे पिछले जनरेशन में नहीं था. And because of which, whoever is trying to come out of that job mentality, a secure, safe job, which will make you settle for life, that is nothing like it. You can check any job, and almost all government jobs are becoming contractual these days. So many people ask me why I landed into the non-profit career space, yeah, development sector in a short way. And I have multiple reasons to say to it. And this is why, when I connect all these dots to the job that I was doing at PwC, there are different contrasts. I will highlight those contrasts. There are 6 specific contrasts that I can make between the work that we do at present with my organization called NIIT Alumni Foundation, where I work, a wonderful non-profit work that we do, and the work that we used to do with PwC 7 years back. And it all starts with a wonderful video. You would have seen that video by Simon Sinek. Start with why. You would have also, if you would not have read his book, wonderful seminal book called Start with Why, you should. It's a great book to read and great learning to have. So when I look at the work that we do at present, it has a great sense of purpose. We are helping young underprivileged people get out of poverty, find a stable job through a vocational set of skills, which will be applied in a blue collar sector where there, there are evergreen companies which will provide jobs. So it solves all the problem. It solves the problem of poverty, it solves the problem of livelihoods, it solves the problem because the one generation which is currently into a stable livelihood and a stable income will encourage the next generation into better quality of life, better quality of education, and the whole family could actually aspire to move up the level. That is what really makes my work fulfilling. It was not in the case of PwC, where I used to work. You might find your space to be more purpose driven. So do check on that. So one is the sense of purpose. The sense of purpose has to be very high. Then there has to be a meaning of social change, the contribution. The work that you do is looked like as a service to someone who needs it. Sometimes the consulting work tend to be like passing of the information from one level to next level. And for that, the contractors and the consultants are brought, not really synthesizing and bringing in new information or in an improvised way. It's just the passing of information, either from the industry, from competitor to that people. That is also important. I'm not discrediting that. But when you do it for the people who have very little or no access to those information, they cannot pay for it or they do not have a capability to pay for it. And you help them. That's a service that you are doing is much more fulfilling. So once is a clear purpose that is self-serving, not is larger than self, to help the community. And two, the service is meant for the right people to whom to impact. In fact, many times there is an element of social justice because we live in a very inequitable society. Even though we are one of the largest democracies in the world, and the inequity, inequitable access to the resources that different classes or different uh, categories in the society face. These categories have felt a sense of injustice over years, over decades, over generations, and there there is no sense to that, particularly in the present context where we are a much more interconnected planet, interconnected countries and society. So when you see that there is an inequity that is in front of your eye and you're not able to do anything about it, it fills you with a sense of the guilt or neglect, and you either become very oblivious to it or you become really concerned about it. And that's where the shift happens. And if there is one cause or two causes, a set of causes which really concerns you, which really hits you at the heart, that this is something that needs to be solved, that needs to be solved, and that should be solved. And that's where the non-profit and development sector comes, because the set of injustice that the sector deals with is at a multi-pronged level. It's not just human rights or gender-based violence or inequitable education. There are a number of issues that various organizations, wonderful organizations, are working on. And if you do not know them and know their work, and make an assumption that either somebody is working on this or nobody is going to solve this, that's that's like putting yourself in a state of ignorance, and that's dangerous because then you cannot be an active citizen of your country. And that brings to the next question is on the sense of competition. Sense of competition, because in the corporate and the different sectors, the sense of competition is too high. You're competing with the person sitting next to you. You're sitting and you're always thinking how to move ahead of each other, because there is a very fixed set of rewards and the purpose to achieve, whether profits or number of customers and like that. But when you have a set of problems which is much more complex than you, and you alone cannot solve it fully, then you need to join hands with others. And this is very prevalent in nonprofits. People collaborate to share resources to achieve a better outcome for the beneficiary. And this collaborative effort is possible because the people who are in this space are having a common shared value. If they do not have, they would either leave the sector or they would join a different function. But the people who are leading or who are in this sector with a meaning, they have a common shared purpose, and that makes the whole approach very collaborative. So it reduces a lot of stress. It reduces the tension that people have in a competitive environment. And if you're someone uh, who feels very tensed by the sense of competition, you will enjoy and you will thrive here. But if you are also someone who shies away from even collaboration, this might be a very uh, intriguing space to be in, because without collaboration, it would be very difficult to really solve the problem fully. So collaboration is the key. And because it's a very big problem, all the problems are interconnected in someone's lives, it needs to be thought innovatively. And there's a lot of cross learning that happens among peers, among organizations. And this is very interesting because you are learning something every day. You are learning about new things which is affecting someone's lives. And it's not a simple thing. You cannot learn it through AI or artificial intelligence or Google search. No, this is not possible. You have to deal with someone's lives in a very sensitive manner. And one way to learn more about him or her is through the work that other people are doing, and through the work that you are doing, how many touch points it has. There's a lot of cross learning across organization within the teams also, because the different teams have different viewpoints about an issue, and people are able to freely share it. Last but not the least, the learning that you get in this job has lot of application in your own lives. What you are solving for someone else's life and it makes them really click is also a solution to something which is not working in your life. So it's a very reflective space to be in. And as someone who is naturally very reflective, who is uh, looking at possible collaborations, continuous learning, someone who thrives in collaborative spaces, loves to work with people who have a common mission, and a mission which is not self-serving but uh, is much larger than self, has a very big, uh, broad mission, and it is bound by a very strong why. So, if that is a space which excites you, it excited me, and that is why I am here working in a non-profit, and this is this this enriches my knowledge and experience, and every passing day I learn something new every day. And if this is something which excites you, which is not there in your current job or in your current profession, your days are like it's just passing. You are just trying to move forward day one, day two, waiting for your weekends to come. Then think of this. Think of uh, whether there is a change needed, and who knows, this sector could be waiting for people like you. And, this sector needs people more than ever because the problems are much bigger than solvable by one organization. You could be that next change maker in the making, and if not you, at least you could be enabler of solving a big problem which the country would be facing next. So this is my invitation, and on that note, I'm also building a community which is of people who are very passionate, who are looking to serve the solutions, to look at the problems which are larger than self and have a passion to attack that problem and looking for ideas how to solve them. either by innovating their own concepts, their own organization, setting them up, by building a great team, or joining a team of a founder who is really looking and solving that problem in a very innovative way. I'm building that team, building that community of passionate people. And if you are interested, please feel free to connect and join the link. All the best. Thank you. I hope it was useful. If you found this interesting and looking for more content like this, stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and have a great day. Bye bye.